The documents would actually show that I never signed any of the disbursement because I really was not part of the use, disbursement, liquidation of all these
Correct.
confidential funds. But as much as I can, based on my personal knowledge, I will answer directly their questions. Wala naman tayong
Did they say
pinangitago.
isasabihin na nila ang Vice Presidente?
Wala. Wala silang sinabing ganun, and as we all know,
Bakit hindi
pwede
nila
yan.
pinagsabi ng aking pinakapaboritong presidente? Talaga ako, sisigaw ako dun sa, sa flagpole ng House of Representatives. Bakit yung presidente ko na paborito hindi nyo sinasabi na? Yan ang problema dito sa impeachment proceedings, mga kababayan. This is largely political.
Filipino people are being scammed by this government. Okay. So, bakit scam? Kasi, wala kang lalabasan eh. Lahat sila nag-conspire na. Diba? They have weaponized most institutions. I don't know if there's still one institution that's independent or you can call independent. No? So, tapos, nadagdagan pa nitong krisis sa Middle East. So, maswerte na tayo kung yung economy mag-grow ng 3%. Net trust rating of the president is -9. Diba? Kasi saan gagamitin yung pera? Nakakasiguro ba tayo na yung perang uutangin nila, like ngayon sa World Bank, gagamitin sa tama? Yung Maharlika Fund, saan napunta yung pera? Di ba dapat sa infrastructure yan? Anong nilaunch ni Presidente? Anong klaseng di ba footbridge? Oh, so,
So, give me a positive ring on
wala.
wala kang makitang positive.
Wala.
Can you tell us about bank secrecy? Can you readily pierce the veil of a private depositor?
Sige. Just to give you a background, bakit kailangan natin bank secrecy law, yung rationale behind the law is the state or the government wants to ask the people to trust the banking system. So, gusto nila yung mga pera natin, instead na ilalagay natin sa bahay natin, sa ilalim ng unan natin, sa bangko natin ilagay. Bakit importante yung deposits? Since alam ni Ma'am Cora na yung deposits natin, pinapaikot ng bangko para ipautang. So, pinapautang yan sa mga negosyante na nag-spur ng growth sa economy. So, yun ang important. So, what is the bank secrecy law, yung RA 1405? RA 1405 is was created, it states that all deposits of whatever nature, including investment bonds issued by the government, are of purely confidential in nature. And no person or government official, even government official and offices can access your bank records except for 4 reasons. First is the signed waiver of the depositor themselves.
So, yung mismong may-ari ng account.
Correct. So, signed waiver. Pangalawa, in cases of impeachment. So, pangatlo, court cases involving bribery and the dereliction of duty. And the fourth is when the funds in question is the subject matter of the litigation. So, hindi siya pwede na, for example, sinampahan kayo ng libel, titingnan nyo yung bank account ng tao. So, the criminal act should be connected to the bank account bago natin buksan. So,
So, bawal yung fishing expedition na bubuksan ko yung account ko, oy, buksan mo yung account ni Malutikia. Tingnan natin kung ano magagamit natin para sa impeachment. Pwede ba yun?
Yes, oo. So, may mga tao na gustong i-circumvent yung bank secrecy law natin. No? However, pag pumunta ka sa bangko or nagsubpoena ka sa isang bank officer requesting for a bank statement of account, liable si bank officer kung mag-provide siya ng...
So hindi yan yung pag may subpoena?
Yes, unless they fall under dun sa four reasons na nabanggit.
Oo. So question, can the bank open the account of a private individual?
Open mean access?
Yes.
A
third party asking you open the bank accounts of Juan de la Cruz.
No. The bank officer himself, no, cannot access.
Can the bank open the bank accounts of a previous president?
Even though, no.
Can the bank open the account of the husband of an incumbent
Related
official?
accounts, no.
Oo.
No.
So technically,
When
limited.
the subpoena, just in case there's a ongoing court case, kailangan specify yung
Sir,
account
idiretso ko,
name.
may impeachment.
Ah.
Gusto nilang buksan ng account ni BP, ni PRRD, ng asawa ni BP. Pwede ba yon?
At this stage kasi of the impeachment, if I'm not mistaken, we're only on deliberating the impeachment, no? So wala pa tayo dun sa proper
Trial.
impeachment trial.
Oo.
So without the proper impeachment trial, there's no reason to disclose the bank account. So hindi pa siya, wala pang impeachment court na na-form. So yeah, as you mentioned, that's a fishing expedition.
That's a fishing expedition, right? So if the House Committee on Justice gives you a subpoena, you as a bank manager, will
Without
that
the impeachment,
without the just the House?
yes, the bank officer will be criminally liable under the law. Yes.
What is the impact to the economy if we start shaking the banks?
Siyempre, mawawala yung tiwala sa mga bangko. Di ba? O, pwede kang magka-bank run. Kasi siyempre, kunwari, ikaw yung bangko sa Bank ABC, nag-reveal ka, yung mga depositors mo maglalabas ng pera. Kasi wala silang tiwala. Baka bigay nila yung details ko to anyone, di ba? So kasi ang bank secrecy is about absolute confidentiality. Unless talagang may matigas na rason para ilabas yun, hindi sila maglalabas.
Yes. And aside din sa bank secrecy of bank deposits, meron din tayong FCDU Act, the Foreign Currency Deposit Act.
Yes.
Ito mas stricter to. Even with the court case, you cannot open the bank account unless there is a waiver from the depositor. So, ang rationale naman
Kaya
behind
pala yung
this,
dating speaker, hindi mabuksan yung
yeah. So, mas maganda kung dollar yung account mo sa bank.
Oo, kasi may dollar siya eh. dun
Kasi
sa-
pag nawala yung tiwala sa mga bangko, magkaka-systemic risk ka.
So, with the crisis,
Oh, yan,
and with
dadagdag
this,
ka pa.
the shaking,
Oh, dadagdag ka pa.
that is bad for...
The whole system.
Interesting. And the investment people who are looking
Yeah, exactly,
to... Mag-invest ako dito sa Pilipinas, pero sandali lang.
Oo,
Ang
talagang
gulo ninyo
mapapag-isip.
sa... Tapos
Ang dami.
ito sa bank.
Daming issue. So, economic, financial, banking, and then security. All facets of government and governance right now is affected.
By just the impeachment of the Vice President.
And the Middle East
and the
crisis.
Middle East crisis. Sir, ano naman ang AMLA? Meron pakialam si AMLA sa mga bangko?
Ang AMLA is actually tinatawag nila ito yung high-tech bypass ng bank secrecy law eh. Kasi even without the court order,
Masisilip nila.
masisilip nila. However, ang safeguard mechanism nito is AMLA works like a silo. Independent sila. Even Congress cannot summon AMLA to produce bank records of a person. So, sa bangko kasi, daily, we have to file a report, what we call CTR and STR. CTR is for covered transactions, which is 500,000 and up. STR is suspicious transaction, regardless of the amount.
Sir,
So-
ba't hindi nyo nakuha yung mga maleta at saka yung sa yung nawawalang pondo?
Yes,
Oo.
actually, what happened etong sa flood control scandal, it should be AMLA at the center of this investigation eh. Because the movement, the channel is money. Without the money changing hands, makokontrol sana yung corruption eh. So, again, going back, we have yung CTR and STR. Covered transaction for 500,000 and up, and suspicious transaction regardless of the amount. Kasi yung iba, sinicircumvent yung 500, 300 muna, 300, withdrawal, hanggang makuha nila yung buong amount. So, meron naman na, halimbawa,
Katulad
fish-
yung kay Yusek Cabral. Sorry ha, interrupt ako ng interrupt. Di ba yung dalawa niyang anak nakuha lahat ang pondo dun sa account ni Yusek Cabral na ilabas? Oo. Yun yung hindi nila na categorize as suspicious account.
Yes, like for example, ma'am, meron tayong isang business lang, isa parang street vendor. Biglang deposit siyang 300,000. Kumbaga, abnormal siya dun sa
Red flag na yun, no?
average. So, eto, like for example, kung government employee tayo, ng source of income natin is our income, salary, tapos biglang may billions o hundreds of millions of account ka, dapat na-flag na yan ng bangko from the very start eh. Na-flag na yan eh. Even the withdrawals, if you have a legitimate transaction, why would you choose cash? When you have other modes of payment like manager's check, wire transfer, bakit ang nakikita natin is yung mga mali-malita na cash? So definitely, pag ang isang government employee is nag-withdraw ng cash na substantial amount, this should have been reported na sa AMLA as suspicious transaction. From there sana, na-action na ni AMLA. Kasi hindi siya commensurate doon sa source of income eh.
So would you, sir, say
So
that...
ang nakikita ko nga missing link dito is from the very start, bakit hindi na-cite yung mga bangko
Yes.
with all these billions in withdrawals?
Yes.
So bakit even the existing investigation, bakit parang wala yung hindi napapag-usapan yung paano nakakapag-withdraw sila na hindi naman commensurate sa income nila?
Saka paano nagkakaroon sila ng account na...
Ngayon, AMLA, parang working as an independent organization, should have looked into the transactions. Bakit ito?
They have that power, right?
They have the power.
on their own. Yeah.
And then they recommend. I'm not sure of the law, but I think they have to go through the courts of appeal to get the bank records.
Oo. Kahit
Pero
AMLA.
even Congress cannot ask or request AMLA, "Uy, AMLA, mukhang may plunder dito, pa-investigahan yata." Hindi pwedeng. Dapat it should emanate from AMLA itself.
And AMLA is supposed to be apolitical, right?
Yes.
Apolitical. Should be apolitical. Should not be used for political motives.
Oo, kasi nagamit yan
I've heard
kay
from the
Corona.
news that a congressman is calling AMLA to
Yes.
investigate, you know. So, hindi pwedeng i-dictate ng Congress ang AMLA. Should be the proper channels.
Actually, Malu, meron pang ang isang transaction na dapat tignan nila kasi, di ba, nagpapalit ng 2 maleta ba yun?
Na dollar.
Oo, into dollars.
Into dollars.
So, yung nagpalit ng into dollars na yun, mukhang hindi bangko eh. Mukhang money market.
Money market. Oo.
So, dapat tinitignan na rin ng AMLA yun or ng BSP.
Sir, narinig nyo ito? Ito ba parte ng intelligence network na kailangan na flag, 'di ba? Kasi pag nakita mong movement of large amounts of money, isn't that intelligence work?
Yeah, kung talagang serious yung ating mga namamalakad sa gobyerno, including yung mga intelligence units, ay makikita talaga yan. So, dahil nga sa paliwanag kanina, lumalabas na yung AMLA itself, mukhang may connivance dun sa I'm not saying talagang baka. Oo, baka lang, Ang duda ko, hawak din nila yung yung kasi ngayon they are weaponizing all agencies, the police, the military, and many others, So hindi malayo na maaring sunod-sunuran na lang yung taga-AMLA. And yung land bank itself, in cahoots na rin dun
Which
sa
is the major depository account of
kasi
the Public Works Fund.
I can even recall na, kasi nung I was a battalion commander sa Mindanao, yung tinatawag na voluntary offer to sell, no? Na yung sa CARP. May lumapit sa akin na ano siya.
Yan, sir, lupa. Yung
Lupa ito,
oo.
Ba't ko ba't ko biglang na-recall to? Lumapit sa akin yung isang, sir, hanap kayo ng lupa. Bakit? Yung malalaki, mga 100 hectares, 200. Ilapit natin sa sa mga nag-aasikaso nito. Ba't ano yan? Sinakyan ko lang, no? Yung pala ang racket nila, halimbawa 100 hectares. They will operate yun through BOS, voluntary offer to sell, yung para babayaran ng gobyerno. In cahoots sila sa DENR, in cahoots sila sa Land Bank. So, yung DENR para pipicturean nila yung kunyari may lahat, may tanim lahat. Pero actually 2 hektarya lang yung may tanim out of the 100. Ibabaluate ngayon yan.
No,
Tapos
mas
yung
mataas.
Land Bank,
Yeah.
ibabaluate nila in cahoots sa DENR. Pagdating doon, sige, ito ang value niya per hectare is 120. Imbis na 70,000 lang. So yun, lalabas ng pera. In cahoot sila sa So, maaring ganon din na nangyayari dito. Kaya tahimik. Lumabas lang nung sumabog ka.
Kasi maganda yung point ni Marvin, yung issue ng malalaking amount ng pera na lumalabas, pero wala nga naman tayong nakitang bangko o na trace o report ng AMLA, no?
I'll cite 2 instances,
Colonel
Prof. One was nung nasa active service pa ako. Alam ni ni Sir Marvin yung Hawala system.
Hawala?
Yeah, it's an informal money remittance. So nung nandun ako when I was still assigned with the airport security, I was the chief of operations ng airport security center sa NAIA. We were monitoring this Hawala operations ng mga rin natin, kababayan din natin.
OFW.
Yes.
Oo.
Meron silang mga na informal remittance center nila ron, dadalhin dito by cash, dala-dala ng mga, in fact minsan isang buong eroplano halos lahat yung may mga bags eh. And when we intercepted, wala na, puro bag na lang yung nakuha namin, yung mga pera na i-distribute na. There's something happening. So, second naman, when I retired, and I was into business now, our business is into renewable energy. So, yung partner namin one time, this was the first time na nagtatransaction kami in dollars. So nagpadala ito. Initially nagpadala ng meager amount lang naman. Maliit lang naman siya. Initially it was $15,000. And then the second, it was supposed to be 30. Yung second pasok niya, hinold na ng bangko. Hindi na nirelease sa amin. And we were called by the bank to explain kung ano yung pumapasok na yun. Well, what's my what am I driving it here? Yung mga ganong maliliit na transactions nakikita. Nababantayan. Bakit yung mga
Gandang buhala,
mali-maleta isinasakay ng eroplano, hindi natin alam kung saan dinadalang ibang bansa. Bakit parang walang reaction yung natin, mga
Ang lokohan
authorities
ang lokohan
natin.
ko sa kaibigan ko, dapat nandun ako sa negosyo ng paggawa ng luggages, no? Parang ang laki ng kinita mo doon. Kasi talagang kitang-kita, di ba? Talagang magugulat ka na lang na, how can that be possible? And I understand today, the luggages now are in dollar. Dollar-denominated na yung distribution. Kaya sabi ko, must be every or most or some legislators might have a wall of, alam mo yan, yung bolt sa pader. Kasi magtataka ka, paano mo malalabas yung ganong kalalaking pondo sa bangko? Pera na lang kung ang bangko ay involved. Diba? Yun yung hindi mo maintindihan. So, lumalayo na tayo ng usapan, no? Let me go give your last points. Siguro doon sa security cluster, ang tanong ko, napapanahon na ba magkaroon ng batas tungkol dyan? Talagang batas, hindi yung joint circular na 2015, matanda na, iba na ang teknolohiya, nakita natin, iba na ang procedure ng pag-handle ng pera. Napapanahon na ba ho sa inyong dalawa na magkaroon ng batas on Confidential and Intelligence Fund.
Tama yun, Malo, no? Kasi kung titingnan mo itong 2015 yun, no? Yun yung, although from time to time may nilalabas ng mga policy, mga ganyan, sagaa, lagi nakabanggit yan.
Special provision.
Oo. Tapos kung ite-trace back natin, nung panahon pa ng Marcos Sr., nagpalabas din siya ng sa mga classification ng mga documents, no? Mga top secret, secret, confidential, restricted. So, nandoon yon. So, napapanahon na palagay ko na lahat ito, based on our experience, na nangyayari ngayon dito, talagang magkaroon na ng proposed law para mabantayan yung tinatawag na Kung ako ang tatanungin, dapat ang mga ahensya, ang mga GOCC, ang mga LGU, walang walang mga confidential, even confidential fund, no? Dapat yung mga pondo na yan, ibinibigay yan talaga sa mga intelligence unit, sa DND, sa AFP, sa PNP, dahil sila talaga yung gumagalaw sa ground. Ang mahirap kasi, itong confidential fund, I'm not saying na winawaldas lang to ng lahat, pero marami sa mga politiko natin, talagang ginagamit nila yon na Pero meron din naman talagang matino ang paggastos nila. And I know that dahil may mga governor ako na nakilala noon sa Mindoro, sa South Cotabato, na talagang serious sila. Ginagamit nila ng tama. Pero marami rin ang hindi. So dapat, para ma-prevent ito, yung abuse on the use of this confidential intelligence fund, maisabatas na yan.
Okay. Colonel Galang?
Ako naman, ma'am, I believe dun sa whole of government approach when it comes to dito sa pag-utilize ng pondo ng bayan, specifically yung ating intelligence funds. So, siguro, yung batas na papanahon ngayon na i-define din kung sino lang talaga yung mga offices na dapat nag-handle nito. Kasi tama yung sinabi ni Sir Caloy, halos lahat ng mga even LGUs merong mga intelligence funds sila. Siguro magkaroon ng batas, i-define talaga kung sino yung mga government agencies na dapat meron at dapat na binibigyan ng mga pondo na kagaya nito. Para mas madali din po yung tinatawag natin na accountability at saka yung responsibilidad ng mga government agencies na bibigyan natin. Especially ng ganitong klaseng pondo na alam naman natin po ang liquidation talaga is napaka-komplikado. Hindi basta-basta nire-reveal. So dapat po talaga defined lang kung sino yung mga offices. Yun lang po yung sa akin.
Okay. Sir, ikaw, any bank reforms or anything you want to say on the impact of the impeachment of the Vice President when it comes to bank secrecy?
Regarding to sa what happened sa...
Yes.
With what happened lang din sa the question we should be asking at that time is where these transaction withdrawals were reported to AMLA. Yun ang natin. Kasi if not, then the bank officers or the bank itself is complicit doon sa pagkuha ng pera sa atin. So, kasi this should have been reported from the start.
Reported that
They are required to report it sa under suspicious transaction. So, ang question is, did they report it as a suspicious transaction or did they allow hundreds of millions of withdrawals and look the other way na lang?
Yan yun sa flood control. Yan, sir, yun sa flood control issue. Flood control? Yung pondo sa maleta, yan yung sinasabi mo that the pag-suspicious account, the bank should have issued a red flag. And
So, kasi when the bank reports it to AMLA, AMLA can freeze already the account a suspicious account. Under
and there has
suspicious
never
transaction.
been freezing of any account in your recollection
Yes,
sa AMLA.
okay.
Cora,
Yes.
all these things,
Yeah.
anong
Hindi na
sa ekonomiya?
Hindi na ako magpapatumpik-tumpik
Oh.
the Filipino people are being scammed by this government. Okay. So, bakit scam? Kasi, wala kang lalabasan eh. Lahat sila nag-conspire na. Diba? They have weaponized most institutions. I don't know if there's still one institution that's independent or you can call independent. No? So, tapos, nadagdagan pa nitong krisis sa Middle East. So, maswerte na tayo kung yung economy mag-grow ng 3%. Kasi nung fourth quarter last year, 3% yung growth.
Oo, ang
December
projection
yun,
nila
ah.
daw ngayon, 7%.
Ay, nako,
Doon
good
sa
luck.
interview sa kanya.
Good luck. I think struggle pa yung 3%.
This
Tapos,
quarter.
Well, the whole year.
The whole
Depende,
year.
no? Depende kung saan pupunta itong gera. Inflation could be between 15 and 25%.
Wow.
Depende kung gaano katagal yung gera. Kasi kung ang diesel at saka gasolina already went up by more than 60 to 120%, di ba may trickle-down effect yan eh. So, pag ganyan ang inflation mo, magko-cost cutting ang mga companies, magmamass layoff. So currently, your unemployment is 5.8% or 3 million Filipinos, almost 3 million
So
Filipinos.
that will shoot up.
Pwedeng mag 5 million yun, pwedeng mag 6 million. Kasi nga may mga fresh graduates ka pa, may mga OFWs kang umuwi. Walang trabaho
Walang
mahanap yun,
yeah.
di ba? Kung may repatriation plan sila, magbibigay sila ng trabaho. Ngayon, wala, di ba? So, saan pupunta itong mga taong to? Yung savings sila mauubos. Actually, sa dami ng baha na dinaanan ng Pilipino, babaha pa ulit ngayon, walang flood control, yung savings mo talaga mauubos.
What do you think of a stimulus package?
Saan manggagaling yung stimulus? Mangungutang sila? Kasi budget deficit pa tayo. Laki-laki pa ng deficit eh. Mangungutang sila. Yung uutangin nila, gagamitin ba talaga sa tama yun?
So
Kasi
nandun
nga-
pa rin yung trust.
Yes. That's why
The
the
issue of
trust,
trust.
that's why the net trust rating of the president is -9. Diba?
Tayo ulit sa Usapang Matino ng Net25. And today we have a very important guest who's very busy with these cases in the impeachment of VP Sara Duterte, but he's here with us. No other than Attorney Poa.
Thank you for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to meet you finally in person.
Thank you. It's very important na nandito sa atin si Attorney Poa kasi ngayon nga po nag-hearing na. Sinasabi kong hearing kasi parang hindi naman totoong hearing ito eh. Parang nakascript na ito eh. Pero tingnan natin, tanungin pa rin natin si Attorney Poa ng kanyang mga insights at kanyang opinion. Attorney, the Vice President filed a answer ad cautelam.
Yes.
Pero hindi siya nag-appear doon. Hindi po ba? Since impeachment is really largely a political process. Just tell the viewers, bakit nga po hindi na nag-appear si VP Sara Duterte?
Unang-una, kailangan siguro nating maklaro sa ating mga kababayan na there is no requirement, contrary to statements that are being floated around, there is no requirement for a respondent to appear personally dito sa ginagawang pagdinig sa Committee on Justice. Pangalawa, we submitted a letter day before the committee hearings that was, if I believe, March 22, I think. No? At sinabi natin doon sa letter na yon, basically, na we are opposing, we have fundamental objections to what is being conducted right now, which they have termed to be a mini trial. No?
Mini trial?
Oo. And para maklaro din natin, ang basihan natin doon, ang sinasabi natin doon, ayon sa ating saligang batas, ang initiation ng impeachment proceedings exclusively with the House. Tama yan.
Yes.
No? Pero pagdating sa pag-try ng impeachment cases, that is exclusively with the Senate.
Yes,
Diba?
Section 36, Article 9, mga
Yes.
kababayan. The sole power to try impeachment cases is with the Senate. Whatever
Yes.
you call it, a mini trial, a mini poodle. They will be usurping the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court if they do that. But they're insisting on it. Why do you think they're insisting on it?
Well, your best guess is as good as mine, no?
Yeah.
But sa atin kasi, of course, with due respect to our lawmakers naman, no? Ang sa atin lang, ano bang pananaw natin sa stage na ito? Diba? When it was referred to the committee, the purpose of the committee is to actually determine if there is probable cause. Hindi ba? To nandiyan na yung sufficiency in form, sufficiency
In
in
substance.
substance,
Okay.
meron pang ang sufficiency in grounds, tapos determine na sila ng probable cause. Sa atin, dapat pag nagde-determine ng probable cause, your evaluation is limited to the complaints itself plus the pieces of evidence that are attached.
Correct.
Diba? So, when you go beyond yung mga attachments na nandoon, then to us, and then you ask witnesses to come, diba? Clarificatory lang daw. Pero kung clarificatory, bakit naman pati yung mga pieces of evidence na hindi naka-attach, ngayon pinapasabina
Kagaya ng SALN. Gusto
Kagaya
ni
ng
Terry
SALN.
Ridon ipakita someone ang isabpina ang SALN, which
mga SALN.
Congressman Rufus Rodriguez is objecting to.
Yes, we heard the exchange actually, no. Again, with due respect to our lawmakers, position lang naman namin ang aming inilalahad. In fact, the Supreme Court was very clear. An impeachable offense is offense committed while the impeachable officer is in office, hindi ba?
Yes.
Now we're asking for SALNs from way back, I don't know,
When she was mayor.
2007, 2010.
Oo.
So, hindi na kasi yan kasama sa usapin ng impeachment.
But was that alleged? Is there an allegation there that refers to the SALN?
Well, actually, there's an allegation of unexplained wealth.
What did they say? What year?
To be fair to them, meron dun, I think it's a third complaint, sinabi doon na from 2007 to 2017, if I'm not mistaken, lumaki daw yung assets. That's why ang una namin sinasabi, walang ultimate facts. Kasi you have the 2007 SALN, and then you look at the 2017 SALN, lumaki, biglang
But that's 18 years.
Yes, that's 18 years, and biglang may unexplained wealth na. I think that's really a sweeping conclusion of law and fact without
That's
basis.
why
Di ba?
Rufus Rodriguez calls it a fishing expedition.
Precisely, and that's why the Vice President also felt that for a third time she's being subjected to a fishing expedition, precisely because hindi naman. Unang-una, how did they make the allegation if they didn't have the SALNs pala in the first place?
Now, the Supreme Court, in the first impeachment case, emphasized the due
Due
process
process.
requirement at every step of the impeachment process.
Yes.
Right? Itong ginagawa nila ngayon, I think one of your arguments is that they're violating the right to due process of the Vice President.
Yes, from the get-go, dun pa lang sa aming answer ad cautelam, we already raised the issue of due process, specifically on what we perceive to have been the application of double standards between the impeachment complaints against the President and the impeachment complaints against the Vice President. Di ba? Kasi sabi natin doon, we are not questioning, and I need to clarify this, we are not questioning the standards because we admit that in terms of standards, that's within the wisdom of the House, and this time the committee, no? But when you lay down a standard and then impose a different kind of standard on equally situated officials, then there is double standard. Yan ang sinasabi natin.
And that is a violation of due process.
Yes, and also there have been comments. Again, we respect the views, no? But at least we have to defend our side. There have been comments that she has 16 lawyers. She was given the opportunity to file her answer, so due process has been satisfied. I think that's an oversimplification.
Yes, because as Congressman Paulo Marcoleta said, sinabi ni Kong Paulo na ang due process requirement, ang kailangan, bawat ground ay sinusuri. Kunyari, may ground sila ng bribery. Isusuriin ng committee. O sa ground ng bribery, meron bang sufficiency in substance? Sa ground ng graft and corruption, meron bang Hindi Dahil ang ginawa lang nila, binasa lang nila lahat yun. At sinabi nilang, sufficient ito in substance.
Oo, and also when you say, yun nga, recital of facts, no? Yun din yung ano namin wala namang ultimate facts For example, they said the Vice President committed plunder. No, alam naman natin may elements ang krimen na plunder. You are a public officer, amount is 50 million and above, and then lastly, and this is the most important part, there is amassing, acquiring, 'di ba, appropriating ill-gotten wealth. For example, ngayon, dun sa allegation, sabi nila, may confidential funds. That's elephant in the room. Confidential funds, hindi ba? May confidential funds. Dinisburse ang confidential funds. Ngayon, paano natin nasabing napunta sa bulsa ng Vice Presidente
Correct.
yung ano?
And I've
So-
said this before. Kung ang confidential funds ay hindi na-liquidate ng tama, ang commission proper ay maghuhusga na ito ay i-refund. Pero dito sa case ni VP Sara Duterte, sinabi ng COA na may unqualified sila na report at ito ay na-liquidate na ng tama. Hindi ibig sabihin na kung hindi mo na-liquidate ang inyong confidential fund, ay plunder na. Kasi sa plunder, kailangan may transaction ka. May transaction ka na ikaw ang may control. Yung problema, wala namang nagbibigay ng ganyang opinion sa ating mga congressman dahil wala namang iniisa sa kanila dyan dating COA commissioner. At hindi naman sila dahil hindi naman sila magtatawag ng experts. So ngayon, ang tinasabi nila, sila na lang ang magsusuri. Kaya sinasabi ni Luistro na gagawa sila ng mini trial. Abay, Congresswoman Luistro, baka mini poodle ang ibig mong sabihin. Dahil yung mini trial na yan, wala yan sa konstitusyon. Hindi po yan jurisdiction ng House of Representatives. Under Article 9, Section 3, Subparagraph 6, the power to try impeachment cases lies solely on the Senate. So, now that the Vice President will not appear, Attorney Poa, they subpoenaed you.
Yes, they issued the subpoena against me. I have not received the subpoena, but I've already stated that I'm willing to attend.
Of course.
Because wala naman akong kailangan itago doon. In fact, 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, there was already a Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability series of hearings, where we were called. And I was being asked about my participation in the confidential fund issue. And I already stated my point that my participation was limited to the fact that when the COA issued AOMs, of course, I was tasked as the head of office to reply to the COA AOMs. But again, in fairness to our lawmakers, they probably issued a subpoena in the hopes of clarifying certain matters with me, and I'm willing to submit myself to that hearing and
But
to respond
everything that,
accordingly.
Attorney Poa, that everything that they ask of you must be based on what you have submitted.
Yes, based on what we submitted, the documents would actually show that I never signed any of the disbursement because I really was not part of the use, disbursement, liquidation of all these
Correct.
confidential funds. But as much as I can, based on my personal knowledge, I will answer directly their questions. Wala naman tayong
Did they say
kailangan itago.
sa subpoena nila ang Vice Presidente?
Wala silang sinabing ganun, and as we all know,
Bakit
hindi pwede
hindi nila
yan.
pinagsabpina ang aking pinakapaboritong presidente? Talaga ako, sisigaw ako dun sa plug poll ng House of Representatives. Bakit yung presidente ko na paborito hindi nyo sinasabpina? Yan ang problema dito sa impeachment proceedings, mga kababayan. This is largely political. Makita na natin sa iba-ibang complaints even before when Chief Justice Davide was also Attorney Poa was
Yes.
also
Subjected to impeachment.
yes, he was responded in the impeachment case. Makikita mo na political talaga ang impeachment. Hindi naman po kami tanga na hindi namin alam na political yan. Pero wag naman yung masyado nyo na kaming ginagawang tanga na political na nga, para namang hindi kayo abogado dyan pag kayo ay naghihingi ng kung ano-ano. Masyado kayong... You have to forgive me, Attorney Poa, because I'm highly opinionated. Masyado kayong matalino dyan sa House of Representatives. Si Congresswoman Luistro, napakatalinong piskal na asawa niya ng nakusado ng rape ay pinatakas niya. Napakatalino. Si Attorney Terry Ridon, dati ko yung estudyante. Hindi lang iba sa akin yan. Napakatalino din. Ako na lang kaya ang debatehin nyo. Ako na lang ang isabpina nyo. Sasamahan ko si Attorney Poa. Dahil yung mga ginagawa nyo, hindi na yan tamang sa isip ng lahat ng principles of law na ating pinag-aralan. Ewan ko kung saan kayo nag-aral, baka magkaiba lang tayo ng binasa. Ngayon, the Supreme Court already said that due process must be respected every step of the way. And yet, Luistro, who seems to be the brightest in that committee, insists on making her own rules. For example, wala namang mini trial dyan. Nakita nyo na ba yan sa Francisco case against Davide? Nakita nyo ba yung mini trial sa kaso ni Mercedita Gutierrez? Nakita nyo ba yan sa kaso ni Erap? Wala. Gawa lang po yan ni Congresswoman Luistro. Kaya siguro imbitahin natin yan si Congresswoman Luistro dito, no? Net 25, para meron naman siyang due process dito sa aming usapang matino. Now, Attorney Po, how does the Vice President feel about these proceedings now? This is the second time now.
Yes, second time now. The first time though was fast-track mode, no? Ayan yung nag-1/3 sila kaagad. But this is the first time na nagkaroon ng referral to the committee as
Because of the
against her.
Supreme Court ruling.
Because of the Supreme Court ruling. Of course, the Vice President already issued a statement saying that this is a third fishing expedition against her, actually, no? And that is what our position is, na kung magta-trial tayo, handa naman kami mag-trial sa Senado, 'di ba?
Yeah, doon sa Senado.
Doon sa Senado.
Hindi pwedeng dyan kay Luistro.
Oo. Because pagdating dito sa House, obviously, number one, we are questioning the fact that they cannot hold any form of trial, whether mini or whatever we call it. Basta trial, hindi pwede sa House. Pangalawa, medyo lumalampas na tayo sa, at least sa aming pananaw, lumalampas na tayo sa evaluation ng complaints. Pag kung ano-ano na ang mga dokumento outside the complaints ang hinihingi
Bakit
natin.
hindi na lang nila sabihin, sige na, sufficient na in substance, akyat na. We have now approved na ang impeachment, articles of impeachment, akyat na sa Senado para doon ang trial. Bakit pa gusto nila ng ganito-ganito?
Well, ayoko pong mag-speculate.
Dahil,
Of course,
Attorney
I have my
Poa,
opinions.
gusto nila ng trial by public opinion. Alam nyo, masyado kayong matalino dyan, mas matalino kami sa inyo. We are 10 steps ahead of you. Alam na namin yung ginagawa nyo dyan sa Committee on Justice. Mamaya, pati ako, ipakontempt nyo na. Kung hindi ba naman this is just all for show, bakit hindi na lang approve? Approve na articles of impeachment. Send it to the Senate. Doon na tayo mag-trial. Ready naman ang Vice President, di po ba?
We have no objections to that. Kung naririnig na nga natin na may numero na, 'di ba? May mga statements na may numero na. That's why we're saying kung pinag-uusapan na pala ang numero ngayon at may numero na and they want to already elevate it to the Senate, wala kaming problema doon because there we can fully defend the rights of the Vice President.
So there you have an
we
opportunity.
can test the credibility of these witnesses that they will produce.
One of them will be Madriaga?
Yes. Well, I suppose because he was also
Who is in
issued a
jail
subpoena.
for kidnapping for ransom?
Yes. And
Wala na ba kayong mas magaling na evidence na testigo dyan na hindi naman kidnapper? Ano ba kayo dyan? So, as Madriaga, who else will be their star witness?
Well, we don't know, no? We are still anticipating kung sino yung mga... But we have ideas. Siguro, wag muna naming ilabas yung mga ideas ng mga star witnesses nila. But, once we're there, we can test the credibility and we can show the Filipino people once and for all na walang basihan itong mga aligasyon nila laban sa ating Vice Presidente.
In fact, I interviewed Senate President Soto. And I asked him, I said, with all the things that you said against the Supreme Court ruling, the people are now saying, SP, that you are biased. So, mahirap po yan na kayo pa rin ang presiding dyan and people do not trust that you'll be fair. Ang sinabi niya, ito ang sinagot niya talaga, kung ako lang, if it were up to me, masyado na to, it takes too much of our time, this impeachment. 2 taon na lang. Pero kung pupunta yan sa Senado, ay gagawin ko ang tungkulin ko. So, sinasabi ng Senate President, gagawin niya ang tungkulin niya, iakyat niyo na ang articles of impeachment para naman may fairness ang Vice President ay merong may opportunity naman to defend herself.
Opo. Well, I just need to state this for the record, no, because again, we're really on the the legal side lang. We do not dwell into the political, but we have always given the benefit of the doubt to the Senate President, to the Senate as that will be sitting as senator judges. We also are giving of the benefit of the doubt even to the Committee of Justice members. That's why itong ginawa naming objection dito sa ginagawa nilang mini trial, ito ay ibinigay inibigay muna namin sa kanila, inilahad namin sa kanila. We were trying to explain our side. Now, if that offended some of our lawmakers, we really regret that because it's not our intention to offend anyone. It is our duty as lawyers of the Vice President to protect her rights and her interest. And if we see that there are infirmities in the process, it's also our duty to bring these matters up and tell them that we have objections, serious objections, fundamental objections to the conduct of a so-called mini trial within the House. No? Now, sabi nyo nga, kung okay sa amin iakyat, definitely. We have been ready since last year. During the first round of impeachments, despite filing that petition with the Supreme Court, as we all know, it's always 50-50, diba? So, we were ready to go into a full-blown trial.
Oh,
So,
but now in the Senate, hindi na sila advantage kasi they need 2/3 or 16 votes. They need 16 votes. JV Ejercito, Senator Ejercito told me that sinabi niya na he is not in favor of that. Daming problema, lalo na ngayon, may gera. So, yung 15 nila, sa majority, nabawasan na sila ng isa, so 14. Ang sinasabi naman ng iba dyan, paano po yan pag si Senator Bato ay hindi po boboto? Abay, kahit hindi siya bumoto, kailangan pa rin nila ng 16 votes.
Yes, that's
you see,
correct. That's correct.
mga kababayan, bakit para ano pa ito? Para ano pa ito na ginagawa nila, na alam naman nila doon pag-akyat, matatalo rin sila. Bakit? Dahil gusto nila masira ang reputasyon ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At ito lang po ang isa sa pinakamatinding argumento ko talaga against that impeachment process. You're wasting our money. Kayong mga congressman at congresswomen kayo na matatalino, you're wasting taxpayers' money and you're wasting the time of the Congress. May gira na. Kulang na tayo sa langis. Ang krudo, 140 pesos. Ano? Ang jeepney driver, 200 pesos na lang ang neto. Take home, dati tigwa 1,000. Ayaw na magsakay yung mga joyride. Dati 60, ngayon 66 na. May gera na, may digmaan na. Kayo, impeachment pa rin kayo. Wala kayong mga, compassion sa mga Pilipino. Ito pa, ano ba itong balita ko na magpapadala ng Japan ng 1,000 troops dito sa Pilipinas? Siyempre, meron tayong EDCA . Ayan, President BBM. Sige, sagutin mo yan. At ano itong narinig ko, na ang China ay nagpapadala na ngayon ng troops near Taiwan. Now, ayan, Tariela, sagutin mo rin yan dahil gusto ko, mauna ka doon, Tariela, magpakahiro ka. Mga kababayan, eto na, digmaan, inflation, napakataas, hoarding, ultimo, bigas, wala kang mabiling bigas dun sa mga, of course, mga high-end na, na grocery, Ang mga tao, nag-hoarding ang mayayaman, ang walang pera, paano? Saan mo iaayuda yan? Ito ang sinasabi ko, impeachment kayo ng impeachment. Ang sagot nyo lang sa digmaan at fuel crisis natin ay ayuda kayo ng ayuda. Uwak-bawi ka naman, BBM . Uwak-bawi ka. Sabi mo isa-subsidize mo yung mga jeepney driver, binawi mo . Ngayon, pimirma ka na lang ng suspension ng excise tax, no? Excise tax, 10 pesos yun sa gasoline. Babawasan mo ng 10 pesos ang price ng gasolina namin. Ganon din yun. 90 minus 10, 80. Ganon din yun. Ngayon, ang plano mo, BBM. Maliban sa, ang majority leader dyan sa House of Representatives ay anak mo, na si Congressman Sandro Marcos, na siyang nagkukumpas dito sa impeachment. Hindi pwede ba yun? At yung si Secretary Garin ay mawindang-windang na, kakahanap ng solusyon. Tapos ang majority leader na anak ni BBM ay nagkukumpas na ituloy itong impeachment. Bakit? Wala na ba kayong ibang magawa dyan? Kaya, mga kababayan, ito po ang relasyon ng politika sa ating ekonomiya. Nadagdagan lang po talaga tayo ng problema ngayon na hindi masolve ni BBM dahil ito'y digmaan na ang disaster sa atin ay tayo lang ang bansa sa buong mundo na nag-declare ang ating presidente ng energy emergency crisis. Kaya ngayon, tayo na naman ang talk of the world dahil dito sa ginawa nilang walang paghahanda. Ngayon, si Attorney Poa, tanungin natin ng kanilang paghahanda sa trial. Kumusta naman po ang paghahanda niyo, Attorney, para sa trial sa Senate?
I can say handang-handa na po tayo dahil last year pa nga we were already preparing. Alam naman natin kahit na nung nanalo tayo sa Supreme Court ay magkakaroon ng pangalawang round. In fact, even if malampasan natin to, hindi malayong magkaroon ng third round dahil talaga namang may mga sektor na gusto talagang ma-impeach ang ating Vice Presidente. So, I could say handang-handa na po tayo. We are ready to show our evidence. We are ready to show our witnesses sa tamang forum. Yun lang ang hinihiling namin, sa tamang forum, which is at the Senate level. At doon, we are confident na mapapakita talaga natin na walang katotohanan yung mga paratang laban sa ating Vice Presidente, na kasinungalingan yung mga witnesses at walang kredibilidad ng mga witnesses na inalalabas nila laban sa ating Vice Presidente. And hopefully at the end of the day, hindi lang ang senator judges, pero ang taong bayan mismo ang makita kung ano ba talaga ang agenda behind all these impeachment complaints against the Vice
Are you
President.
thinking of going to the Supreme Court because of this mini trial, mini poodle in the House of Reps?
Alam mo, hindi ako magsisinungaling. I won't deny that. That is definitely on the table.
Yes.
That is a possibility.
If I were you, I would do the same.
Diba? Nandyan yan. Kung sa atin naman, we had to at least give the Committee on Justice the respect of telling them ourselves kung ano ang problema natin dito sa nangyayari sa mga proceedings, to at least state on the record our objections. Now, kung hindi tayo pakikinggan, of course, that remedy is always there. And the lawyers, us as a team, we are exploring all remedies possible, and the Supreme Court is always a possibility. It's always one of the options.
Ang kaibahan, mga kababayan, sa impeachment case ni VP Sara ay siya ngayon ang nangunguna. She is the front runner. She is the woman to beat in the next elections. Yung mga kay Chief Justice Davide, kay ERAP, sa kay Ombudsman Merceditas Gutierrez, hindi sila kandidato sa 2028. Ito ang kaibahan ni Vice President Sara Duterte dahil hindi nila matatalo si Vice President Sara Duterte sa 2028 kung hindi nila ipa-disqualify. Kaya ito po ang ating tandaan na ang mga nangyayari po sa ating bansa ngayon is too much na politika. Ang nagdi-demand ngayon ng mga tao ay isolve nyo ngayon itong aming kahirapan. Isolve nyo itong inflation na ito. Hindi namin kailangan yung yung mga show nyo dyan sa House of Representatives. Yung pasikat nyo dyan, hindi namin kailangan yan. Isolve nyo ang gutom ng Pilipino dahil more than 50% of Filipinos, or that means maybe 60 million Filipinos, are already hungry. Kaya yung impeachment process na ito ay talaga pong political ito. Ang distinction nito at pagkakaiba sa ibang impeachment doon ay dahil ang inaakusahan nila ay si Vice President Sara Duterte na siyang front runner or the woman to beat in 2028. Kaya problema ni BBM dapat sulbahin niya. Hindi yung ibibigay niya yung baton sa anak niya as majority leader para ikumpas ang impeachment. Yun ba ang solusyon niya sa 2028? Mga kababayan, dito po, sa usapang matino, ay yung totoo lang ang usapan dito, wala akong sasabihin nyo si Attorney Guanzon, bias kasi, ay lahat naman po na sinabi ko sa inyo ngayon ay may basihan. Kaya inimbita natin si Attorney Poa dito para alam natin ang legal na aspeto sa depensa ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At maraming salamat, Attorney Poa, for gracing us today.
Maraming salamat.
Ang sinasabi naman ng iba dyan, paano po yan pag si Senator Bato ay hindi po boboto? Abay, kahit hindi siya bumoto, kailangan pa rin nila ng 16 votes.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Mga kababayan, bakit para ano pa ito? Para ano pa ito na ginagawa nila, na alam naman nila doon pag-akyat, matatalo rin sila. Bakit? Dahil gusto nila masira ang reputasyon ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At ito lang po ang isa sa pinakamatinding argumento ko talaga against that impeachment process. You're wasting our money. Kayong mga congressman at congresswomen kayo na matatalino, you're wasting taxpayers' money and you're wasting the time of the Congress. May gira na. Kulang na tayo sa langis. Ang krudo, 140 pesos. Ano? Ang jeepney driver, 200 pesos na lang ang neto. Take home. Dati, tigwa 1,000. Ayaw na magsakay yung mga joyride. Dati, 60. Ngayon, 66 na. May gira na, may digmaan na. Kayo, impeachment pa rin kayo. Wala kayong mga, compassion sa mga Pilipino. Ito pa, ano ba itong balita ko na magpapadala ng Japan ng 1,000 troops dito sa Pilipinas? Siyempre, meron tayong EDCA eh. Ayan, President BBM. Sige, sagutin mo yan. At ano itong narinig ko? Na ang China ay nagpapadala na ngayon ng troops near Taiwan. Now, ayan, Tariela, sagutin mo rin yan dahil ako, gusto ko, mauna ka doon, Tariela, magpakahiro ka. Mga kababayan, eto na, digmaan, inflation, napakataas, hoarding, ultimo, bigas, wala kang mabiling bigas dun sa mga, of course, mga high-end na, na grocery, Ang mga tao, nag-hoarding ang mayayaman, ang walang pera, paano? Saan mo iaayuda yan? Ito ang sinasabi ko, impeachment kayo ng impeachment. Ang sagot nyo lang sa digmaan at fuel crisis natin ay ayuda kayo ng ayuda. Uwak-bawi ka naman, BBM Uwak-bawi ka. Sabi mo subsidize mo yung mga jeepney driver, binawi mo Ngayon, pimirma ka na lang ng suspension ng excise tax, no? Excise tax, 10 pesos yun sa gasoline. Babawasan mo ng 10 pesos ang price ng gasolina namin. Ganon din yun. 90, minus 10, 80. Ganon din yun. Ngayon, ang plano mo, BBM, maliban sa ang majority leader dyan sa House of Representatives ay anak mo, na si Congressman Sandro Marcos, na siyang nagkukumpas dito sa impeachment. Hindi pwede ba yun? At yung si Secretary Garin ay mawindang-windang na, kakahanap ng solusyon. Tapos ang majority leader na anak ni BBM ay nagkukumpas na ituloy itong impeachment. Bakit? Wala na ba kayong ibang magawa dyan? Kaya, mga kababayan, ito po ang relasyon ng politika sa ating ekonomiya. Nadagdagan lang po talaga tayo ng problema ngayon na hindi masolve ni BBM dahil ito'y digmaan na ang disaster sa atin ay tayo lang ang bansa sa buong mundo na nag-declare ang ating presidente ng energy emergency crisis. Kaya ngayon, tayo na naman ang talk of the world dahil dito sa ginawa nilang walang paghahanda. Ngayon, si attorney po, tanungin natin ng kanilang paghahanda sa trial. Kumusta naman po ang paghahanda niyo, attorney, para sa trial sa Senate?
I can say handang-handa na po tayo dahil last year pa nga we were already preparing. Alam naman natin kahit na nung nanalo tayo sa Supreme Court ay magkakaroon ng pangalawang round. In fact, even if malampasan natin to, hindi malayong magkaroon ng third round dahil talaga namang may mga sektor na gusto talagang ma-impeach ang ating Vice Presidente. So, I could say handang-handa na po tayo. We are ready to show our evidence. We are ready to show our witnesses sa tamang forum. Yun lang ang hinihiling namin, sa tamang forum, which is at the Senate level. At doon, we are confident na mapapakita talaga natin na walang katotohanan yung mga paratang laban sa ating Vice Presidente, na kasinungalingan yung mga witnesses at walang kredibilidad ng mga witnesses na inalalabas nila laban sa ating Vice Presidente. And hopefully at the end of the day, hindi lang ang senator judges, pero ang taong bayan mismo ang makita kung ano ba talaga ang agenda behind all these impeachment complaints against the Vice
Are you
President.
thinking of going to the Supreme Court because of this mini trial mini poodle in the House of Reps.
Alam mo, hindi ako magsisinungaling. I won't deny that. That is definitely on the table.
Yes.
That is a possibility.
If I were you, I would do the same.
Diba? Nandyan yan. Kung sa atin naman, we had to at least give the Committee on Justice the respect, no, of telling them ourselves kung ano ang problema natin dito sa nangyayari sa mga proceedings, to at least state on the record our objections. Now, kung hindi tayo pakikinggan, of course, that remedy is always there. And the lawyers, us as a team, we are exploring all remedies possible, and the Supreme Court is always a possibility. It's always one of the options.
Ang kaibahan, mga kababayan, sa impeachment case ni VP Sara ay siya ngayon ang nangunguna. She is the front runner. She is the woman to beat in the next elections. Yung mga kay Chief Justice Davide, kay ERAP, sa kay Ombudsman Merceditas Gutierrez, hindi sila kandidato sa 2028. Ito ang kaibahan ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Dahil hindi nila matatalo si Vice President Sara Duterte sa 2028 kung hindi nila ipa-disqualify. Kaya ito po ang ating tandaan na ang mga nangyayari po sa ating bansa ngayon is too much na politika. Ang nagdi-demand ngayon ng mga tao ay isolve nyo ngayon itong aming kahirapan. Isolve nyo itong inflation na ito. Hindi namin kailangan yung yung mga show nyo dyan sa House of Representatives. Yung pasikat nyo dyan, hindi namin kailangan yan. Isolve nyo ang gutom ng Pilipino dahil more than 50% of Filipinos, or that means maybe 60 million Filipinos, are already hungry. Kaya yung impeachment process na ito ay talaga pong political ito. Ang distinction nito at pagkakaiba sa ibang impeachment doon ay dahil ang inaakusahan nila ay si Vice President Sara Duterte na siyang front runner or the woman to beat in 2028. Kaya problema ni BBM dapat sulbahin niya. Hindi yung ibibigay niya yung baton sa anak niya as majority leader para ikumpas ang impeachment. Yun ba ang solusyon niya sa 2028? Mga kababayan, dito po, sa usapang matino, ay yung totoo lang ha. Ang usapan dito, wala akong sasabihin nyo si Attorney Guanzon, bias kasi, ay lahat naman po na sinabi ko sa inyo ngayon ay may basihan. Kaya inimbita natin si Attorney Poa dito para alam natin ang legal na aspeto sa depensa ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At maraming salamat, Attorney Poa,
Maraming
for
salamat.
gracing us today.
Maraming